Hello, everyone. We're going to be getting started here pretty shortly with the live Q&A webinar. We're going to wait a minute or two to help ensure that everyone who is registered gets a chance to join, and then we'll start taking questions. In the meantime, feel free to open up that chat tool on the Zoom toolbar. Let us know where you're joining from, what kind of work you oversee. It's always nice just to get to know you guys a little bit better in these sessions. Welcome, Rachel from Virginia. It's great to have you. Allie from the Kitten Set Club in Marion, Massachusetts. Oh, goodness. I hope that's Massachusetts. I'm just blanking on some state shortcuts there. Janet from Seattle, Washington. And I'm sorry, Megan from Edmonds, Washington as well. Awesome. Alex from Miami, Florida. Oh, I hope it's nice and warm there. I hope you're enjoying that great weather. Deborah from Healdsburg, California. Awesome. Latrice Tate from St. Louis. Welcome, everybody. It's so good to have all of you here today. It looks like our numbers are starting to even out a little bit. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Tiffany, and I'm joined by my team member, Ethan. We're part of the onboarding team here at When I Work, and our goal is to help get new users up and running with When I Work scheduling and attendance tool. Myself and Ethan have been with When I Work for a long time and have seen many accounts for a wide variety of workplaces and industries from all over the world. So no matter your workplace needs, I'm sure our team has seen something similar and that we can help get you and your team set up for success. For the next 30 minutes, we're going to be answering your questions about When I Work scheduling and attendance tool. We're going to show you some ways you can save time creating the schedule, managing timesheets, and communicating with your team. We'll get to as many questions as we can during this time, but if your question doesn't get answered and you'd like further help, you can always chat with us after. We'll be providing information at the end of the session on how to get in contact with us, so stick around for that. But for now, let's get started here. This session is centered around your questions. To ask us a question, you're going to click the Q&A button on your toolbar and type your question. Ethan will be going through and asking some of those questions out loud so we can demonstrate them in our When I Work account. Also, depending on where we are in the session, he may rearrange them or type out the answers to some of your questions, but we're going to be try to be sure to get to as many questions as possible in this time. And with that, I'm going to switch over to my When I Work account and give a quick overview of navigating the web app. All right, so here we have my When I Work account. I am logged in as an admin level user. And we'll start over here with our dashboard page. This just gives you a nice snapshot of everything going on in your workplace for the day. It's going to show you who's got shifts today, how many hours you've got scheduled today, who might be clocked in, anyone on break, all of these little different details that really help you manage your time during the day. Anybody with any attendance notices, lates, no-shows, early clock-ins, they're going to show up here for you. And then you'll be able to navigate directly to their timesheets to review those from these attendance notices. Nice little graph here about the assigned shifts you've got going on and the different positions they might that you might have and how that all breaks down for you per day. Our worked labor costs. This is how many hours have been worked for the week in the last 7 days. If your pay period's complete, you can click on this to go ahead and close it and finalize that. And then a pay period forecast here for you that shows what's going on from yesterday all the way to a few days into the future. And then if you've got any announcements, those will show at the bottom for you here. And our next page in the navigation bar here is the scheduler. This is where all of your shifts are going to be created and where you're going to assign your employees, how you need them for your business. Lots of different options here that we can go over later. Really, really great tool to have a nice calendar view of all the shifts that you need for the day. And our next tab is our attendance tab here. You're going to see your timesheets. That's where all their worked hours are reported to. Our time tracker gives you a small snapshot of who's clocked in, who's clocking out, who's on breaks, who's on lunch for the day. If you've got computer clock-ins turned on, you're going to see that option here. And then if you want to lock this computer as a terminal, you're going to use this option, and that becomes a device that your employees can enter their email in and clock in and out on. Our work chat feature is right here, and this is where you can communicate with your team as well as send an email or a team text as needed. This is our requests menu. You're going to see the option to request time off here. That allows you to request time off for yourself or on behalf of your employees. This time off requests option here shows you all the requests that have been made for the future, for past, allows you to deny and approve those as needed. The same with shift requests. That's going to be swaps, drops, and releases. If you need to approve those for your employees, that's going to be located on this page. And then open shift requests. If you've got an open shift out there that you want your employees to kind of bid on, that's where you can go approve who gets that shift. And this is our workplace menu. These are the building blocks of your account, and you're going to spend most of your beginning time setting up with it. Great menu, great to know it and get familiar with it. This is the employees page here. That's where you're going to add all of your employees' profiles and invite them with their emails or phone numbers, set up their positions, schedules, anything you need to assign to an employee that's not specifically a shift. Here's where you can create positions and tags, which are an additional qualifier in addition to those positions, schedules, job sites, shift templates. That's all of these that you see here, all of those times that are saved. Shift templates help you quickly load that into the schedule. And our reports option, our task lists, and our documents. And that next menu is our gear menu here. We've got our general scheduling, attendance settings. This is where you can set up your integrations and access your account and billing page. And the last option here is your personal menu, basically has your profile, your schedule, your personal availability, the alert preferences you want. And if you have multiple accounts with us, this is where you can go ahead and switch between workplaces. So that covers all of the options that we have and a little overview of the When I Work account. So let's get started with some of your questions.
All right, Tiffany, thanks very much for the intro there. As you guys can see, lots of the options there within When I Work account. Starting off with a couple of questions here, we've actually got a couple of people who have already asked about the time clock feature and if it can be enabled or disabled. And if it is common, if most users just take advantage of the clock in and out feature or just use it for scheduling. Tiffany, might be a good starting point to take a look at our attendance settings under our general settings menus there and show them what they can and cannot enable and disable within there.
Awesome. So at the very end, we are going to go over our plans and what features they offer. We do offer a plan that's just scheduling tools only. So many different businesses out there, and each one of them might use it a little bit differently. But if you need that time clock and attendance and you need those nice shifts, it's a beautiful system that works really well together. You've got that scheduled shift, your employee clocks in late, you're going to get a notification about it. They work together like that in quite a few different ways. So let's go over the attendance options that we offer. So to see all of the options we have, you're going to scroll over this gear menu here and select attendance settings from the drop down. So the first option we have to clock in is the clock in with the mobile app. Employees log into the app on their phones and they're going to see a nice clock in button right on that dashboard page as soon as they log in. And with the mobile app clock ins, you can restrict those to a specific location so that they have to be at the building that you have assigned. You'll just check these little boxes here if you want to restrict clock in and clock out or one or the other. It's up to you. And just make sure anytime you make changes, you go ahead and click that save button. The next option that we have is clock in with personal computer. This one can also be restricted. This can be restricted by a physical address or an IP address. So when you have this option turned on, as we saw earlier, you scroll over this attendance tab here and you'll see the option to clock in. And if you're already clocked in, that's going to say clock out or take lunch. And then the last option that you don't see a setting for is a terminal. This is an external device that you set up. Basically, this can be a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, or an Android tablet. And that's going to be set up under this attendance menu again with lock as terminal. And that's a little bit different from the personal computer. The personal computer employees log into When I Work with their email and password in order to access the clock in options. The terminal, it's just a nice gray white screen that has clock in a nice field, and they put their email or employee ID, and there they go. That'll all show up on your attendance and timesheets pages in real time. So then some of the other options that you're going to see here is how early can employees clock in for a shift. Now I've got it set to anytime. This one, anytime, basically means they can clock in with or without one of those assigned shifts we saw on the scheduler page. If you have any other option chosen other than any time, 0, 5, 15, or 30, they have to have a scheduled shift in order to clock in. And we do offer a photo clock in option on our iOS terminals only. Pretty handy. It stores all the photos of your employees clocking in. And then you can set up your pay periods here and how the length that you want. And then we have a great breaks feature. So the couple of options for our breaks are, if employees are allowed to record breaks when they're clocked in, they're going to see a take lunch option on their device, whichever method they're clocking in on. And that's going to put a nice little, the number of minutes for that break in their timesheets for you. We also have an auto deduct feature. And if you set this up, then once they clock in, they clock out, and then it automatically deducts the set amount of breaks that you have set in their shift for them. And then our paid rest breaks. At the end of the shift, they're going to receive a message before they can clock out that asks them if they receive their paid rest breaks. If they say yes, they're good to go. If they say no, they leave a note, and that shows up on their timesheets for you. And the last option we have on our attendance settings here is going to be the different types of notifications. You can set different times for when a manager's notified that an employee misses clock out, or you can set it up for employees receiving a notification when they miss a clock in and out. So these are all there's lots of different time measurements here. I know it's, specific to you and your managers when they want to receive notification. And of course, you want to notify those employees that they've missed a clock in or out pretty quickly. So that's all of our attendance options here and all the clock in options that we have. What's our next question, Ethan?
Awesome. As you guys can see, we got lots and lots of clock in and clock out options based off of your business needs, however you decide to do your day-to-day. Adding to this, next question we've got here is wondering about availability. So they don't schedule shifts, but would like to at a glance see who is available and when. So it might be a good time to take a look at our availability tool.
Awesome. Our availability is really, really great for seeing exactly that. Is my employee prefer to work today, or are they not available? It's really great options. So I'm going to head over to the scheduler page to show you what that looks like. So we do have a lot of shifts here. So while we're going over availability, we're going to pay close attention to obviously the big block that says unavailable, and then these little gray triangles that are a little smaller, and the green triangles. So this gray triangle indicates that there's a specific time that employee is unavailable for the day. The big block here just means that they're not available at all that day. And then our little green means that is preferred. They would like to work 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Friday the 25th right there. And if you're not scheduling shifts, those are going to pop out really, really nicely. And if you are scheduling shifts, you're going to keep seeing green everywhere, basically, if it's good. So green means this lines up with a preferred time. This lines up with a preferred time. If you see a little red triangle, that indicates that it overlaps and it conflicts with one of their available times. For example, if I decided to schedule a shift for Carmen here at 6 p.m. to 11:45 p.m., I'm going to get a little red triangle over in the left corner of this cell, just showing that it overlaps, but it doesn't stop you. It's just more of a, hey, this overlaps. We just want to make sure you see that, because you always want to make sure that you're covered, and sometimes your employee's availability does not always determine that. Great availability features. Employees can update their availability from their end, and you can also update an employee's availability for them. All right, Ethan, these are some great questions, guys. What do we got up next?
All right. Next, let's see here. We've got one about our announcements and important upcoming dates feature. Might be a good way to kind of demo our annotation feature that they can use on the scheduler.
I love our annotations. I feel like it's this little hidden gem that we've got on our scheduler page. So I actually have an annotation set up for today already. So to check out your annotations, this can be an announcement saying your business is closed or a holiday of some sort. So this little chat bubble right here in the date box, you're going to go ahead and click on that, and you're going to see that the edit annotation box, you can set a date range or a single date for those. Choose a nice color. This was my favorite, this little teal blue color, or Tiffany blue, should I say. You can set which schedule that belongs to. You can create a title. You can have a message with about 400 characters there. And then you can choose whether to say the business is closed, don't allow time off, or this is just an announcement. So that when employees clock in, they're going to see that, or log into their account, excuse me, they're going to see the annotations for the day and whatever announcements you've got going on. I see a lot of different workplaces use this a lot of different ways. Sometimes it's a holiday, sometimes it's a who's on call, or maybe the manager on duty for the day, lots of different things. And of course, the normal ones of don't allow time off, your business is closed, and just a regular announcement. So that's our annotations feature, and you can edit those and you can set them to be a week long or however long you need, or a single day.
Perfect. Thanks, Tiffany, for that. As you guys can see, the annotation feature is really, really great. A lot of people use those for the holidays, especially when they are closing for a day here and there, cover those holidays. So it's pretty great. Next question here. Let's got a question about repeating schedules. So how to get their schedule to repeat over a certain, like a couple of weeks worth of schedules.
Awesome. Sounds like we can go over some shortcuts. So I like the annotation feature because it's kind of a hidden gem, but our shortcuts just save you so much time. They are so beneficial. So we're going to go over all of the options for you, and some of them work better for some businesses and some work better for the others. So the first thing that I'm going to show you guys is just the smallest one. It's how to copy a single shift. So I'm on a Mac, I'm going to hold my command, but if you're on a Windows computer, go ahead and hold down Control on your keyboard, and then you just drag and drop it. You can do that 100 times, one time, a million times, whichever shifts you need to copy immediately, nice and quick and fast. You can have a full week loaded this way. The other option that we have is our repeating shifts option. So any shift on the scheduler page can be set to repeat. You scroll over it, you click directly on it, and that brings up our edit window here. Down at the bottom, you're going to see the repeat shift, and the different options are between every week and every 6 weeks of repeating. And you choose a nice little end date for that, and then you'll go ahead and save that shift, and it's going to populate that sequence for you. So if you've got a lot of shifts to do and your weeks are pretty similar, copy previous week is beautiful. So we've got this week loaded in. We love the way it looks. Everything is set, and it's all going to be the same next week. So we're going to click this arrow here, and we're going to go navigate to the next week's schedule. So then you're going to click on this little red wrench icon up here. These are all your little shortcut tools, basically. And you're going to go ahead and click copy previous week. And then the options are allow conflicts, avoid conflicts, overwrite conflicts, and copy the shifts to the open shifts. These are just going to control whether you want duplicate shifts to happen, whether you want to ignore their availability preferences, basically, or if you just want to put those all in the open shifts section. So copy previous week is really great, really useful tool. But now let's say I want this specific week and I've got an every other week rotating schedule. Our schedule templates option is going to be great. We can take this entire week here and we can go weeks into the future. let's go ahead and head into April, where hopefully the spring weather will actually happen and it won't snow on us anymore up here in the north. So now you see you've got a blank week here. From that last week, you would have clicked save template, save as new template here. You've given it a name, say this is my odd number week template. And then you're going to go ahead and click load. We're going to select the one that we want, and you'll see those same options that we saw as copied previous week. You can choose the one that you'd like, and then you apply that. So everything that I had over there that I loved and I needed it out into the future has been loaded for me, and everything is saved just in those nice little templates. Highly recommend them, love them especially if your weeks stay the same, or if you've got a rotating schedule with that, you have 2 or 3 schedule templates saved so that you can just navigate to every other week and paste those in basically. So those are all of the shortcuts that we have, and I love them. They're going to save you guys so much time.
Awesome, Tiffany. Yep, we've got lots and lots of shortcuts there. These really cut down on the time it takes to create and recreate a schedule each week and each month. So really great tools there. Next question we've got is with our task management. How do our tasks work, Tiffany?
Awesome, great question. So let's go take a look at the setup for those. Going to go over into this workplace menu, those beautiful, beautiful building blocks, and I'm going to select task lists from the drop-down menu. You're going to see up here, we offer team tasks and shift tasks. Team tasks, basically you assign the task to a specific day, and anybody that has a shift that day can complete them. Shift tasks, you're taking those tasks and you're assigning that to that specific employee for the day to finish. So those are the 2 different types of tasks that we have. You can set them up here, creating lists or editing them. So let's take a look at the scheduler to see how that's gonna transfer over. Over in the scheduler page here again, right next to where we saw those annotations, you're going to see this little tasks list with a check box right here. You can go ahead and click on that. And right now I've got team tasks assigned, the daily cleaning, and it's at 0% completed. And if I use this drop down, I can see if these are completed or not. I can also complete them myself from here, and it shows me who completed them as well as the time that they were complete. And if you need to, you can assign those specific team tasks to somebody. So basically everybody that's working here that you see has a shift on this day can manage those tasks. They can complete them at any time during their shift. Now for our shift tasks, we're going to go ahead into this Allison shift for this day. You're going to see this shift tasks option, and we'll say that Allison needs to do the closing tasks. Apparently we close at 1 p.m. Sounds pretty good for me, little siesta. So once those are assigned, then only Allison is going to see those tasks and be able to complete them. So those are our basics of the tasks, pretty easy to set up, really easy for your employees to see. And when they clock out, they're going to be prompted, did you complete any tasks today? Really great, really awesome. It's a nice reminder for what your employees are doing, and you get to see everything that's been completed.
Perfect. Not sure about the rest of you, but I really like my checklist to make sure I got all of my stuff done. So, hey, task list here is a great way to make sure that those things get done. Next question we've got is about our shift request. How does the shift requests and open shift requests functions work?
Awesome. So let's start with these open shifts since we're already on this page. So you're going to see your open shifts row here at the very top in a nice little limey when I work green color. And when you see these shifts, so from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., there's a barista shift that I haven't assigned to anybody. I need that position covered for those specific times. So when I publish this, anybody that's assigned to the barista position and doesn't have an overlapping shift can go ahead and pick that up. And when the open shifts are like this without this option, which we'll go over in just a split second here, If you don't have this option, then those shifts are all first come, first served. So if you do edit this shift and you do select require pickup approval, those baristas that are qualified for that shift are going to see it, and they can basically bid on it. They say, yes, I'm available for that time. And those employees all come up on a list that you can check under our requests menu, open shift requests. I don't have anything here specifically, but once those requests come in, you will see the shift, the position, and the list of employees that say they can take it. And then you get to approve who you would like to take or like to have that shift. So for our swaps and drops options, I'm going to show you the settings that we have for those. Under the gear menu here, you're going to head to your scheduling settings. And the first thing you're going to see here is employee shift coverage. So if they are allowed to release it, this means that the employee is not responsible for that shift on that day, and it goes into the open shifts for somebody else to pick up. And the dropping means that employee stays responsible for that shift until somebody else picks it up from them. Swapping means two employees say, I want your shift, you want mine, and bam, they've got it, and it swaps automatically on the scheduler for them. Now, if you've got a require manager review set up for swaps and drops, that's going to come into that shift requests menu that we saw earlier. And you're going to be able to say, yes, I'm okay with my employees swapping that shift, or I'm okay with that employee dropping that shift. So with swapping and dropping, got to remember that the employees that initiated the swap or drop are still responsible for that shift. And with releasing, that gets into your open shifts row, and then it's up to management basically to find coverage. And then you can also set it up for shift splitting. So basically I can't work in the afternoon, so I can split my shift and drop or swap those afternoon hours or release them. And I recommend releasing if somebody's got, time off, let them release the shift, and then it goes in the open shift row and it's all automatic. So then those employees are going to see that open shift and be able to pick it up from them. Awesome. So those are all of our swaps, drops, and open shift options.
I can find the unmute button there. So awesome. So as you guys can see, we've got lots and lots of ways to empower your staff, your employees, however you refer to them, to, control their own schedule. Hey, they've got this to come up. We allow releasing, swapping, and dropping. So really cool stuff here. Looks like we may have time for about one more question here. And we will go with the difference when viewing the schedule. And Tiffany, correct me, I may have missed this. The difference between the published and unpublished shifts on the scheduler.
We have not gone over that. Great, super easy, awesome, distinguishable difference to see those. We're going to head over to the scheduler here. All right, so as you can see, I've got some solid shifts and I've got some shifts that have some diagonal lines through them. So the ones with the diagonal lines through them mean they are not published. That means that only your management team can basically see those and make any edits. And while they're unpublished, that means no notifications go out to your employees. They don't have an idea of, how their schedules are changing quite yet. And just while you're getting set up, basically, you want to leave all of your shifts unpublished. When you are ready and you like how everything looks and you want your employees to be able to see those, you click this gorgeous publish and notify button here. And that notifies your employees with email or text message, depending on their personal profile settings, that they've got new shifts to check out. And then also with our publish menu, we have our advanced publisher right here. It's really great if you only want to publish a select few or just the open shifts there. You can select a larger date range to publish. You can notify all users. You can only notify users with changes, send out a message with that publishing if you need to, and then it'll show you for that date range how many shifts you're going to end up publishing. You can also unpublish your shifts here. So you can see those solid ones that are published. I could unpublish those if needed. All right, I think that All the time we have. So I'm going to head over to my handy dandy slideshow here so we can go over our plan options. All right. We have 3 different plans to choose from based on the needs and size of your workplace. The first is our essentials plan. And if this plan's right for you if you have under 200 users and need our course scheduling and attendance tools. The essentials plan includes all of those course scheduling tools that we talked about here today, like creating shifts, availability, auto scheduling, and work chat. The essentials plan also includes integrated attendance tools for clocking in and out and tracking time for your team, location restrictions, and those integrations to payroll. If you have over 200 users, you're going to be on our advanced or complete plan. The advanced and complete plans are the best plans for larger businesses because they have extra scheduling tools that are designed for large workplaces. Things like access to our API key, global privacy, labor sharing, single sign-on, custom reporting, and scheduling rules. The advanced plan does not include integrated attendance, and the complete plan includes scheduling and attendance tool. So advanced, no time clock attendance and attendance. Complete, everything that we've got to offer. It is the complete package. Of course, if you need the extra tools on the advanced or complete plan, you can choose these plans upon checkout, whatever user count that you are at. If you log into your account on the web, you can mock up the pricing for any plan by heading to the account and billing page found under the gear menu on the toolbar. On that page, press upgrade my account, then checkout to activate. On that screen, you can select the number of user spots and enable the attendance add-on to the plan if needed. By default, we offer a monthly billing cycle, but the switch for annual billing can be enabled to pay upfront for a year of service. The annual billing cycle also provides a 5% discount compared to the monthly billing cycle if you're looking to use When I Work long-term. If you have any questions about what plan is the best fit for you and your team or any of the features that we provide, please don't hesitate to reach out to us on chat. You can access chat by pressing the chat icon in the bottom right of your account. You can also send us an email to gettingstarted@wheniwork.com. Ethan's also going to be sending a list of resources in the chat section we used earlier. Feel free to copy and paste that into a Word document or a Notes app to save it for later. The list has more information on getting started, plans and pricings, and training resources. So just to wrap it up, thank you guys so much for joining us today. Your questions were absolutely amazing. We really, really appreciate your participation, and I hope you enjoyed everything and learned a lot. And don't hesitate to reach out to us if you need anything. We're here to help, and I hope everyone has a fantastic Tuesday.